On Saturday of the Passion Week, there is only half of one verse that tells us about this intense scene that takes place. Luke records it for us. He writes, "But the women rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment." It was Saturday of the Passion Week. Things had happened so fast the day before. The women didn't have time to get ready. I mean, how could you ever get ready for a day like that? What do you mean that Jesus has been arrested? What do you mean that Jesus is standing before a religious trial? What do you mean that Jesus is now standing in front of a civil trial? What do you mean that the soldiers have him? What do you mean that Jesus needs help carrying the cross? I mean, by the time you get to one place, Jesus is already at the next place. And when he finally died on the cross after 6 hours of brutal agony, the women could barely get there physically, much less emotionally. The women would watch Jesus be buried in the tomb. Friends had placed his body there. The stone was rolled into place. The Romans, they sealed it up tight. The guard was set there to protect it, to make sure robbers wouldn't come and steal the body. The women knew it was over. Their dreams were dead. Their hopes were dead. Jesus was dead. The women returned home having shed more tears in one day than most of us will shed in our lives. I mean, how in the world would they possibly sleep? So late that Friday night, the women get some spices ready for his body, something they didn't have time to do before because everything had moved so fast. All of that was Friday. What would the women do on Saturday? It says they rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment of God. Don't miss that. Through all the tears, with the heart so broken it feels like it's been shattered in a million pieces, through all the disbelief, even unbelief, perhaps curled up, clutching a pillow tighter than they ever have before because their son is dead, the Savior is dead. What would they do on that Saturday? They rest as an act of worship. Through all the heartache and all the pain, they rest as an act of worship.